So the next fly that has been proved really successful in the 2019 season is a little dry fly sedge pattern. It's proved deadly for me. This is just a bubble wing CDC and elk. This one's in a size 18. It's using a Maruto size 18 dry fly hook. It's just nano silk, standard CDC, just some ordinary CDC feathers, and a little bit of deer hair just for the over the wing. So quite a simple fly. Just the bubble is the only slightly awkward thing about this fly. Just start the thread at the hook in the usual way, and take it down just about the end of the shank. Now for this fly, even with a size 18, I've got 4 CDC feathers, and they're all lined up, tips together, and they're stacked on top of each other, so the concave surface is facing upwards. I'm going to tie them in at the tips. So easiest way I've found to do this is just to do a wrap over, pull through very carefully until we get to almost to the tips. One wrap underneath just holds those up, which usually makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to use the top of these CDCs as the wrap for the body, so it's a good idea if you've got some slightly lower quality CDC feathers to make sure that one of those is the upper, on the top of the 4 CDCs, because the lower quality just as a body is of less significance. Now I like to try and fold then some of these fibres back, just to get a real leggy effect, get as much of that CDC as I can in the fly. And I'm finishing that body probably about 3 millimeters back, so I've got to put a wing in, then create a little head as well. Probably got a smidge too far forwards there, but that'll be okay. So the next thing then is to hold all 3 feathers fairly firmly together. Decide how long the bubble needs to be. I like them to be just over the bend of the hook. A couple of wraps just to make sure that it's in correctly. That looks to be okay to me. Tie that down tightly. Trim off the butts. I'm going to go back to the tying in point, body point. Take a small clump of deer hair. Don't need a huge wing on this, they're quite floaty because of all of the CDC in there anyway. I'll just take out any under fur. Stack that. What I like to do is actually to stack it in a reasonably large stacker first of all. Check the quantity. That's not bad. And then put it into a smaller stacker which just clumps them all together. Makes it just slightly easier for manipulating. Length of the wing, however long you want it, just about to the end of the ball. What I like to do also is to put a wrap around the deer hair first, then round the hook, and then tighten up. Hold everything really firmly in place, and then go through with wraps through to the hook eye. That holds everything in place. Fold everything back then, and I can finish off with a whip finish. Off, and then if I fold up all of the butt ends of the deer hair, and just cut. It is effectively a small muddler hair at the front of the fly. They float really well. They're quite high visibility because of that deer hair on top, and that's proved to be a deadly pattern. I've caught an awful lot of fish with that pattern this year.